What is up? What is going on, everybody? It is the Money Match Gaming Podcast. We're here again to talk about what's coming soon in November. First off, I am one of your co-hosts, Lance, aka The Infinite, the CEO of Money Match Gaming. And my co-host over here is my good man, Dan Estrata. Dan Estrata, take it away,
Hello.
sir.
Hi, guys. I'm actually Anna from Frozen now. You have to refer to me as such for the duration of the rest of my life, as this is now who I am. It's almost Halloween. That's why I'm dressed up. I don't just cross-dress normally. It's not a thing I do for fun. But, hey, for those who do it for fun, good on you. Good on you. But, yes, this is the Money Match podcast talk show extravaganza spectacular. Today we're talking about all the things coming up in November, and we've got a list of things. Not quite as exciting as some of the other months, but there's still some gold there. Yeah, should we just get right into it?
Dude, let's drop into it.
All right, we'll start with games, and I'm just gonna list all the games coming out in November, and then we will single out some to talk about. November 1st, we have The Quiet Man coming out on PC and PS4. November 2nd, we have Diablo 3, as well as Taiko no Tatsujin Drum and Fun, and Taiko no Tatsujin Drum Session for the Switch and PS4, respectively. November 5th, we have Moonlighter on the Switch. November 6th, we have Carnival Games on PS4, Xbox, Switch. We have Grip Combat Racing for all. We have Overkill's The Walking Dead for the PC. The Shape-Shifting Detective for everything. November 9th, we have 1111 Memories Retold for the PC, Xbox One, and PS4. And we also have Townsman for Switch. November 13th, we have Hitman 2 for PC, PS4, Xbox One. We have SNK 40th Anniversary Collection for the Switch. And we have the Spyro Trilogy for Xbox One and PS4. November 14th, we have Fallout 76 for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. November 16th, we have the port of Civilization 6 for the Switch, as well as Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee for the Switch. So that's a banner day for the Switch. November 20th, we have Battlefield 5 for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC, as well as Wreckfest for the PS4 and Xbox One. We have Darksiders 3 on November 27th for the Xbox One, PS4, and PC. And then finally, on November 30th, we have Ride 3. So what in that list sticks out to you, my man?
I kind of went through the list and kind of looked up some stuff I was really unfamiliar with. And the first one on that list is Grip. Now, I'm not super into racing games, but like this felt like a more mature kind of Mario Kart to a degree, to where it's just more serious. There were games in the past that were like this, but it's obviously more focused on racing and stuff like that. So yeah, Rage and things of that nature. So it looks good. I don't think I'm actually gonna get it, but I was kind of just impressed watching it. Like all these people who like racing games, is definitely one that I could get down in, and I have a feeling we'll have some repay value and some kind of just easygoing fun. So it's kind of really. Hopefully it's not super expensive because I didn't look up the price. I was just kind of, what's exciting and what looks good. And that definitely on the list, the first thing that shows up that I'm kind of interested in is Grip. It just seems interesting.
Work. One that I forgot to highlight, but I wanted to talk about. Not too long, but one that it does kind of excite me is at the beginning of the month, the Taiko no Tatsujin Drum and Fun and Drum Sessions games for the Switch and PS4, respectively. I am interested in those. Those are rhythm games, if you could not tell by the drum in the name. And I am very into rhythm games, as I've stressed before. Also, all the music is like anime theme songs, so I think that could be a lot of fun. So I am going to look into those games, but I don't know too much about them, and I haven't looked super much into them, but they're rhythm games, so you can expect me to get them at some point.
Yes, and now that we know a little history behind the Dan, It makes sense. Now I know how serious it is and how much like how in depth you went into it. But
Dude, I love rhythm games. It is
I,
what it is. I mean, those are not the ones I'm most excited for. I'm most excited for in December, the Persona games, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
oh really?
Yeah.
The ultimate, the
What happened?
ultimate,
The ultimate what?
yeah, Smash Ultimate.
Oh, no. Well, I'm talking about rhythm games. Smash Ultimate.
Okay, okay. I'm like, I thought you
Yeah.
said that was the most exciting. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
No,
Well,
no, 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 no. Well, that is the top tier of games in general, but that's also December. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
right.
November 13th is another game that I'm excited for, the Spyro trilogy. I really liked the ones like playing through them when I was a kid. They were fun. They were less challenging and did not make me want to kill myself as much as Banjo Kazooie did. Or not Banjo Kazooie. Banjo Kazooie wasn't super bad. Crash Bandicoot. So yeah, I'm definitely excited for the Spyro games. I've only played one of them, so this will give me an opportunity to play the other two.
Right. Is it like a complete remaster or is it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
okay? It's a
Yeah.
complete remaster.
Yeah, if you look at them, like this one looks really, really nice, and everything is pretty much like changed to look not stupid.
Right. I mean, I know this is like a really popular game for a lot of people, so I mean, good looks to them. I was never really that impressed, but then again, I think I've said it several times on our podcast that I really struggle with platformers. Like if I could rent them, then they would be
That
awesome.
game is not hard. And like struggle as in difficulty wise, or struggle is in like
Just
struggle
to
and
play
enjoyment.
it, just enjoying them. Yeah, yeah. Like, outside that single playthrough, it's kind of like, all right, well, I'm not sure if this is something that I want to continue to do. For the most part, I feel that way about even really, really, really good platformers. The only one that I think that broke that rule was Super Metroid. That was like the only one that I was like, wow, this is actually a classic of classics, and it feels right. I do enjoy Mega Man too, for the most part, just because of its difficulty and stuff like that. And I don't know, they kind of do take a lot of the same elements, but for some reason, maybe because it's one of my 5 most influential games. For maybe that kind of nostalgia just doesn't leave me. So I mean, yeah, I mean, this is just one of those games that I'm like, I'm happy people got it because I've seen so much support for the game, but not really. My next game though is Fallout 76. Now I'm not jumping for joy. I'm not losing my mind, but I do like Fallout 76, like Fallout games in general, and they're cool. They're all right, So we'll see where it goes because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be more of the same. So I'll get a good month and a half of playing with my brother, and then we'll go where all the other ones are. But
Yeah, the dude who I game share with bought Fallout 76, so I'll have it. I can't say I'm excited about it. I mean, I'm not into the Fallout games at all, or really anything made by Bethesda. The only game by them that I've ever actually liked, but I still haven't even spent very much time with, is the new Doom. Not into the Elder Scrolls games, not into the Fallout games, not into the Wolfenstein games. So, yeah, good. I mean, people are excited, so that's cool. Even though I heard kind of mixed things about the beta. I hope it ends up being good for them. I feel like it does kind of feel a little bit like a Fallout cash grab, but I don't know too much about the Fallout series, so I can't delve into it too much. But that is a game coming out.
And I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like I need to comment on that. Like, cash grabs to me are a little bit of both. Like, obviously, they're doing things to make money, but at the same time, like, just because they're delivering the same formula doesn't mean that it's a cash grab, in my opinion. And, like,
well, not that it's the same formula, just capitalizing on the popularity of multiplayer games, and it's just Fallout multiplayer, but it's not like the traditional Fallout,
right. Okay, well, I guess. Because, like, what I've been hearing about it in general is that it's just a Fallout 4 reskin almost. It's the exact same game. And, I'm like, I think Fallout's kind of been the exact same for a long time, and there's plenty of games that fall in that realm. There's nothing wrong with the mainstay formula of the actual game. And I'm kind of excited that they're adding kind of more multiplayer options and stuff like that, because I kind of wish they would do that with like Skyrim games and things of that nature. Like I know they did the massive multiplayer, and I guess that kind of does make me feel weird because I didn't really enjoy that one too much. Because I don't know, it feels really alienating in a lot of senses because half the time there's like stories that like there's part of the story mode that you can't do with your other, so it's like you have to do quests by yourself sometimes, and I'm feeling like, all right, well, that's not multiplayer to me. Anytime you get in a situation to where you're like, all right, you did have this group of 4 individuals that were playing together, now you guys have to play by yourselves for this one mission that's like 15 minutes long, and I'm kind of like, that's not right. And even like the progression system like was disjointed, and I'm like, no, this not real multiplayer, but whatever. It hopefully it doesn't have those same kind of issues and stuff like that, so
Yep.
and then it'll be all good and great.
The only other game from the month that kind of stood out to me, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which I can't say I'm like super excited about, but I am interested in seeing how they're received. For those who don't know, Pokemon Let's Go and Eevee is not a main series Pokemon game, but kind of a remake of Yellow, with Pokemon Go catch mechanics. Not the battle mechanics. I think the battle mechanics are a little different. But there are some things in the game that really do interest me. Like, for example, they've added these people called masters, and essentially what masters are is they spent their entire life training just one Pokemon, and whatever that Pokemon is, they're the master of it to the point where they have trained it to teach it moves that it normally wouldn't have. So you have to one-on-one these guys and beat them with the same exact Pokemon that they're using. So you have to outmaster the master and become the master of all the different Pokemon, which I thought was, I think that's a really interesting mechanic, and I wish that persists into other games. I think that's a really cool way to get people to like use different types of Pokemon and train them certain ways. I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah, hopefully there's a lot of them. Because then
there's supposed to be. I think there's one for every Pokemon. So one for every Pokemon in the game. There's the things with all these Pokemon games is they traditionally only feature like one generation's worth, and like sometimes a couple peppered in there. Like this one is, since it's a remake of Yellow, it just has the original set of Pokemon. But there's Meltan and Meltron, I think it's called, something like that, the evolved form. That's a brand new Pokemon that's in this game, and I think some Alolan forms might be in this game, but other than that, it's just the OGs.
Okay, so I do have a question because I'm unfamiliar. I'm not super excited for this. So I didn't really go into a whole lot of detail, but is that for like every evolved form of the Pokemon? Because that would actually even be even more next level, and it would actually be really cool in a lot of senses. I doubt it.
No, that's the idea. Like there's like a Charmander one, a Charmeleon one, and a Charizard one. Like that. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I definitely know there's a Magikarp master, which is hilarious, and for so many reasons.
I'm pretty sure he can learn Hyper Beam if I remember correctly. So, that could get interesting. Well, then, yeah, that's actually a really cool mechanic. I like that. That's really cool. It gives you
I don't know, and I don't know 100% about it. They just announced it kind of recently, and they didn't talk too much about it. I'm sure they'll have like a Nintendo Direct where they talk more about the Let's Go and all the mechanics and stuff. But that thing right there got me interested enough that I was like, maybe I'll check it out. But I'm also still kind of waiting to see what people think of it before I jump the gun.
Right. I don't know. I like the games. I just don't like them that much. Like we were talking about a little bit, it's just I kind of don't want to buy a DS for one game. And I'm sure there's lots of games I could get into. It's just, I don't know. I've just never been the biggest fan of handhelds.
I understand. I bought a PSP for one game, and but that was like way after PSPs were like pretty much dead already. I bought PSP for Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. And then about a month later, it came out on the PlayStation 3, which I didn't own, but my roommate did, so I could have just bought that. But that's okay. I enjoyed it. It's a very good game.
Right.
I didn't pay a whole lot for the PSP, so it's not like the end of the world.
I got a Vita for my birthday because my wife wanted me to get me something, and I'm pretty sure at the time I had all the systems. So she was just kind of like,
Vita's
yeah.
kind of cool. I have a lot of friends who really like the Vita, but I don't have it myself.
Right. Mine kind of collects dust. I used it for like one trip that I was going on, and then after that, just went back to the consoles and stuff. So, I mean, that's
not for everybody.
All I got for games. I'm not super excited about this month's games. You know, last month was so exciting. There was so many things, but, you know, let's get into the juicy stuff because it's definitely the movies that are going to make it this month.
Yeah, so we didn't highlight anything in these categories, so I'm just going to kind of read them off. I'm not sure about any other anime coming out this month. It's mid-season right now, so I don't expect any new anime to start up. Last month, though, we didn't mention it, but it kind of caught me by surprise and happened. The third season of Seven Deadly Sins popped up on Netflix, so that's really cool. I haven't gotten a chance to check that out yet, but Seven Deadly Sins is an awesome anime and definitely worth checking out for anyone who hasn't. As for TV this month, we have, once again, we're mid-season, so there's not a lot of shows. All these shows are Netflix shows. So those kind of happen sporadically throughout the year. There's no like real season time for them because they all just get added in one night. But we have on November 2nd, House of Cards Season 6, which is only interesting because Kevin Spacey's no longer in it. So this is kind of the new direction they're taking with it, which is, I guess, kind of interesting. I've never watched the show, so I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. Narcos Mexico and She-Ra, the Princess of Power on November 16th. November 22nd is Mystery Science Theater 3000. And November 30th, F is for Family Season 3. None of those really stand out to me. I don't really watch any of those shows, so I can't say too much about any of them, but I just wanted to bring them up so we could just dive in and talk about the movies, and then we'll just end with the movies rather than doing all that afterwards.
Okay.
But yes, movies.
I do want to mention some things for anime.
Yeah.
These are just the things that I'm watching and stuff like that. Like again, I didn't really want to go through the list simply because I kind of dabble with everyone and then kind of go back. But the ones I'm watching now would be Sword Art Online, the new version of that. It seems pretty okay. The other one is Ulysses. I'm not. Yeah, Ulysses. We'll just go with that. It's basically about an alchemist who has the Philosopher's Stone, and he gives it to people, and then they turn into this ultra human being that's like, I don't know, like overpowered basically. And that's kind of how far I've gotten with that. Goblin Slayer, although Goblin Slayer is really, really graphic. I mean, really, really graphic. Like at some point, it's one of those. It's definitely for sure one of those animes that if you watch around people might get a little disturbed. So if you ever see any of those memes to where you're like watching the anime and then all of a sudden some girl's got like her stuff out, like it's kind of one of those situations because it's graphic, but it's still good though.
Sorry, I'm like sweating. I had to undo.
No, you're good. The next one, and this is pretty much all I'm watching this season so far, is let me find it real quick, make sure I say it right. Tensi Slara Slime Data Ken. I know I'm butchering that. I'm very sorry. That's just, it is what it is. It's about a guy who ends up dying in real life and gets transported to a different world, and he becomes a slime. But he's not just any slime. He's like a super slime, and he can absorb people and absorb like materials and stuff. He's super powered, all right? He's a super powered slime. He can basically mutate into anything that he kind of comes in contact with and analyzed. And then he has like this special, like, they call it sage mode in his body, to where he can like get information about the world without actually knowing the world. But yeah, it's really, really interesting. It's kind of a little bit of world building in it, but definitely something worth checking out. It's definitely what I'm going to watch after today's podcast and stuff like that. And Angry Bones, man, thank you for that follow, man. I appreciate that.
Thanks for the follow, Angry Bones.
But definitely...
Is that the like salt person that was on the screen right there?
Yeah, but it's my face on it. Alvin made a meme.
Oh yeah, because you're salty. You're always salty.
Not
Well, it should
really,
be
but
Dave. Dave is more salty
yeah,
than
yeah. Dave's for sure salty.
Dave.
I
Dave,
don't usually get
Dave
salty.
is the essence of salty. I love you.
But I would recommend those ones. I'm currently enjoying a lot of those ones. So you know, we all, we all.
I'm not watching any anime right now, but I am watching The Good Place, and I just finished Big Mouth season 2. Both of those are good. So thumbs up on those things. But yeah, let's go on with movies. So we have November 2nd, we have Bohemian Rhapsody, The Nutcracker, and Boy Erased. November 9th, we have The Girl in the Spider's Web and The Grinch. November 16th, we have Widows and Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. November 21st, we have Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet, Robin Hood, and Creed 2. So what shall we talk about? We got a lot of these highlighted. I'll bring one up because I have a lot more than you. We'll start with the one that comes out this week, Bohemian Rhapsody, which is the film about Queen with Freddie Mercury being played by Rami Malek, who is the main character, or who plays the main character in Mr. Robot, which, if you don't know by now, is the best show ever. Now you know. So that's why I'm really excited for that movie. I'm actually a little underwhelmed about the fact that they don't really delve too heavily into Freddie's personal life. It's kind of like a puff piece type movie, but the music seems really good, and apparently Rami Malek does an incredible job as Freddie Mercury. So I'm really excited for that one.
I mean, I like the sound of it. I like the commercials. I like the marketing of it and stuff like that. But I don't know, you know, it's like it's weird. And like seeing a lot of the documentaries people are doing on just musicians in general, I doubt that it won't be interesting because I watched a lot that I, you know, kind of didn't think I'd like when my dad came over. He helped me do a bunch of things in my house, and you know, he's really into music, so we just to kind of spend time together. We ended up watching a few music documentaries of different prominent people in the music industry, and it was always really interesting. There wasn't one that we didn't watch that I was like, wow. You know, it's crazy, you know, and it's like people get rich and they do all these different things and they have all these dark demons and, you know, like it's just, you know, I think a lot of people just kind of need to understand that like, you know, you don't go through life without obstacles. You don't go through life without problems. And,
yeah,
you know,
money doesn't necessarily make you happy.
It doesn't solve
it
problems, you know. Like you get these resources, these different things happen, but at the end of the day, you know, like, and it's like scary some of their lives because they're so dark, you know. So you know, I'm kind of expecting something like that from Bohemian Rhapsody, you know. And it's not like I don't like those songs.
It's not though. Like it's not gonna go into the too dark stuff. Like there's gonna be a little bit probably, but it doesn't talk about, you know, the whole AIDS scare and everything like that, which is a little bummer because that's a big part of Freddie's life was the fact that he was a gay man and living with, you know, AIDS and whatnot. And yeah, so we'll see. I'm still excited for it because Rami Malek's my guy and he looks the part. It's astonishing.
Astonishingly.
He just matches. It's wild.
He definitely does look good, so.
But all right, so well, let's talk about one that you wanted to speak on.
I like The Girl in the Spider's Web. I've actually been waiting for this sequel. I don't know if it is a sequel or not. You know, I know there's like
it is a sequel, but it's not the same person.
Okay,
if that makes any sense? Because if it wasn't a sequel, they would have just started with the girl with the dragon tattoo again, I believe. Okay. So I think obviously it's in the same series, but it's not the same actress or anything. I don't even know if it's the same director, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've really been waiting for this movie for a long time. It was something me and my mom enjoyed, you know, and like, I don't know, you know, we just got done talking about influence and stuff like that. And it was always one me and my mom wanted to go back and see. Unfortunately, now she lives in Georgia, so I doubt we'll see it together. But, you know, like, I need to do a little research because I'm really curious on how it connects to the other one or if it even does at all, if it's just an isolated story. Because, you know, it kind of didn't look like they were building on it.
They do the books connect. Okay. Whether the movies connect or not, I'm not sure.
Right.
Because this is based on a trilogy of books.
Right.
It's the girl. the girl with the spider's web, the girl with the dragon tattoo, and I think the girl who kicked the hornet's nest or something. I think that's the last one.
That sounds familiar. So I'm just excited for it, to be honest, and maybe it's all that pure. Me and my mom were excited the last one we saw. So who knows, man. All I know is I'm excited, and that's really all I can leave it at.
Word.
Word.
One of them that I highlighted, which is not a movie that I'm really interested in seeing, but I highlighted it because I might have to see it if the world ends up being true. By this, of course, I'm talking about Grinch. Now, are you familiar with the Grinch leaks of last week? How the Grinch stole Smash Ultimate?
I did see them to a degree, but I don't know. It just looks stupid. So, anytime anything looks really stupid, I don't know, put my head down and I'm like, yeah, I'm not really that interested.
I don't think you understand what I'm talking about.
Probably not then.
There was a guy who what seemed like leaked the rest of the character roster of Smash Ultimate. 7 more characters to be exact. But in addition to that, that people notice, and I mean it's very obvious, the guy was also working on promotional material for the Grinch. So the leak has been dubbed How the Grinch Stole Smash Ultimate. So one of the things that everybody was joking about online is going to see the Grinch. If the leak turns out to be true and the characters that they announced or that they leaked are coming, that as a thank you to this guy, we should all go see the Grinch. To which I thought was really funny. So that's why I highlighted it on this list. So you don't know about the Smash leak?
I know about the Smash leak. I know that it was related to the Grinch. I just didn't follow the rabbit. I didn't go that far into the rabbit hole. So I did see all the memes and stuff on Instagram and Twitter. I saw everybody's frustration that things were leaked, and
yeah, that's why I'm not talking about it here. I've recorded a video for Alvin. I don't know if he'll post it or not, but I recorded a video talking about it. But I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. I don't want anybody to unsuspectingly be like, "What? You're telling me Jesus Christ is in Smash Brothers and you spoiled it before Sakurai could?" Jesus Christ is not in Smash Brothers, guys. I just want to point out that was but he might be.
It's a meme for sure. It's a meme for sure.
But yeah, the characters that did get announced are kind of exciting. Most of them were all kind of talked about for the most part, but one of them was not so much, and one of them I'm happy about. One of them I'm really happy about, but that's not for here.
It better be Sora. That's the only one that makes the most sense, but whatever. I shouldn't say makes the most sense, but would be cool. Because I haven't seen the actual leaks themselves.
Oh, okay.
So I don't actually know the characters that were leaked.
I'll tell you it's not Sora.
That's booty. I imagine there's a good one though. I still think that he's gonna pull out a good one that everybody. Oh yeah, yes.
Well, so there's 2 echoes of the leaks. There's 2 echoes, 5 regular fighters.
Okay.
And 4 of the regular fighters have been requested. One of them is a third party. 1.5. One of them is it's a game made by both Nintendo and Square Enix.
Okay.
And one of them is a completely out of nowhere character from old school video games, which Sakurai loves putting in his games. So.
Okay. I'll find in due time. In due time.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll pick the next one, which is highlighted by you, but I'm excited for it as well, is Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. I am a Harry Potter fan in general. I didn't mind the last one. I felt like it didn't reach its max potential, and I feel like I say that so much with so many series, but it can't be helped. It's just the truth. I think they could go much, much higher, but, it is what it is. The last one wasn't bad by any means, but, I'm excited for this one. I'll definitely end up going to go see it, so I imagine you guys will see a discussion about it, in general.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like Harry Potter. I very much so enjoyed the first one. I've only seen it the one time, but I did like it. Surprised they kept Johnny Depp in the movie, especially with all, the allegations surrounding him, but It is what it is, Contract's
Oh,
a contract, I guess.
I don't know what allegations you're speaking of as far as Johnny Depp is concerned.
Oh, then I'm not gonna go into them right now,
No,
but just Google Johnny Depp abuse.
I'm about to.
He's not a good boyfriend to any of his past lovers. It seems like he's very abusive. So not the greatest things, but that's kind of why I think Johnny Depp's been a little low key recently. I know a lot of people are not seeing this movie because of him still being in it. But whatever. I'm gonna see it. I think it looks fun. And I don't, whatever. I usually I take a big stand on that, but I mean maybe I don't know. I don't really know too much about the Johnny Depp stuff. I just know it's not good, and that's that. That's really all I got. But yeah, the movie itself looks like it could be okay. It's pretty much. It seems like more of the same from the first one, but with bigger focus on the Dumbledore and Grindelwald relationship or rivalry. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, are these based on books? What are these based on?
I think she's still making them. Yeah, I don't think this is completely independent of the author.
Well, no,
I
I know that she is still
a part of the mix. Yeah,
movies and stuff like that. But I don't know. Is there like if there's source material for this, or is this just like
this is? I think this is just them creating stuff from her universe.
Because I know there was like a Fantastic Beasts book, but it wasn't
this.
Like I don't think right.
So yeah, I think this is just an extension of the story, of the universe and stuff like that, which I enjoy. I always felt like I wanted more than just Harry, because Harry, I have mixed feelings about that character itself. So
Mm-hmm.
this gives you a chance just to see more and kind of experience what the world's really like. Because they spend so much time at Hogwarts that I'm kind of like, all right, well, I don't think I understand how this universe works. I understand how Hogwarts works, which is cool. So like I forget which movie it was, but when they started talking about like how other schools came, like that was probably one of the most like interesting aspects of all the movies for me. It was like, oh, we're about to open it up now. We're about to see more. Yeah, correct. And I was excited for that, and that kind of was like, we're here, we're gone, and I was like, but it's cool, it's all right.
Yeah. All right, and now let's get into the big day, November 21st, which we have all three movies highlighted: Wreck-It Ralph, Robin Hood, and Creed 2. I'll start with Robin Hood because that one I didn't think I was gonna like it. Even though it has the dude from like the main character from Kingsman, Jamie Foxx is also in it. And I saw like the first half of one of like the first trailer, and I was like, I'm not sure about it. And then the second half, I was like, this looks okay. And then I watched another trailer for the movie, and I was like, yo, this movie actually looks kind of dope. And with all the more promotion I'm seeing for the movie, I'm really gaining a larger appreciation, especially to the point where the main actor did learn how to shoot archery fairly well. Like he can hit 3 moving targets with 3 arrows in his hand, which is impressive and more than I'll ever be able to do in my life with anything. So I'm interested in this movie. Will it be a good movie? Well, maybe, but I think time will tell. And the only problem with it is it comes out on a very competitive weekend. I don't know. Do you know anything about this Robin Hood movie?
No, I didn't look too much into it. I'm just not really that interested. I mean, I kind of like Robin Hood, but not that much to where I'm like, all right, I need another remake. We need more Robin Hood.
That's the same feeling I was going into it, but then I watched the trailer and I was like, actually, this looks kind of good. Definitely worth checking out the trailer for sure.
Yeah. I'll probably do that afterwards, but these other 2 movies are just...
Yeah, I mean, the big movie for me is Wreck-It Ralph 2, which... I cannot say like enough good things about Wreck-It Ralph. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. Definitely the best movie involving video games ever made. It's not like I can't consider it a video game movie because like the source material isn't a real. Well, I guess Wreck-It Ralph kind of is a real game now, or Fix It Felix is a real game now, but it's not a real game. Besides the point, what I'm trying to say is that it's the best one that involves video game characters. I know Sonic is in it, Qbert. There's a few other video game boys in there. This one breaks the internet. They go into the internet because the guy who owns Ready Player One was not good at all. Money Match Stream. It wasn't a good movie, but that's besides the point. But yeah, Wreck-It Ralph is great, and will always be great. Don't psh me. But yeah, so I'm very excited for this. They go into the internet. Some clips in the trailer that were really entertaining was when Vanellope meets all the different princesses, which, as you can tell by my current garb, I am interested in Disney princesses. I think they're cool. So to see them all in a dressed down kind of sense in this world, I thought was really cool. And it just looks good. It looks entertaining. And that's what a movie needs to be, is entertaining. So I'm very excited for that one.
Yeah, it's obvious. Well, not obviously. It's
Lance, you want to?
Yeah. It's definitely my favorite part of Wreck-It Ralph itself. See, okay, yeah, it's the most exciting thing on this list for me. I'm really excited for this movie. I've been thinking about it for a while. I've wanted it for a while. It's finally here. You kind of don't know what to expect, just because the other movie's such an original concept in my mind. You know, it just feels fresh and new, and you can't really compare it to anything. And, you know, it was a success in every way, and hopefully they just build on the characters and make it as interesting as the first. So, you know, that is that. With the last movie of the month, it is Creed 2. I have a friend who's really into boxing, so I've gone down at least a rabbit hole in boxing and things of that nature, and he gave me a lot of history of the different things that have happened in boxing and why boxing is so important to American culture and history. So I've always liked the Rocky movies. I did like Creed 1, so there's no real reason why I wouldn't like, you know, expect Creed 2 to be decent at the very least, because I don't think there's like a truly bad Rocky. So, you know, I'm kind of excited about this one. You know, who knows where it goes, and with the added knowledge about the boxing realm, it kind of adds a little bit more flavor to it. So that's kind of why I highlighted this one, because I'm definitely going to go see it, and, you know, I just enjoy it. I don't know about that weekend, but I'm going to see it, so.
I mean, I like Michael B. Jordan in it. I've never seen Creed 1, so I'd have to see that before I saw Creed 2. However, the first one I heard was really good, so I imagine this will be more of the same. It looks good. The trailers for it look good. I like that the villain is, I guess, the grandson or son of
Drago,
which is pretty dope.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool concept. I would have never thought. But that, like, opens up the world, I think. They could do a lot of cool things if they, you know, actually continue the series and we get more Creeds and stuff. And this is definitely a movie that can just keep making movies and people will keep coming to see it. So, you know, maybe, because then he can, you know, open it up to all the old, you know, passed down, you know, opponents that, you know, Rocky had to face and stuff like that. So, you know, I don't know, just cool. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, looks good. I probably won't see it. Like I said, haven't seen the first one. But if I do end up seeing the first one, then I might check it out.
So that does it for our list. That is what's coming in November. I hope you liked it. We'll have a condensed version of us just going straight through the list with a couple title images and stuff on social media. So if you didn't get a chance to see this, you can either watch the VOD, you can watch us on YouTube, and there'll be clips of it on Instagram and Twitter. So check that stuff out. Outside of that, man, thank you guys for coming out. I hope you guys have your favorite on the list, and, you know, let us know what you think, you know.
It's as wherever good as Ready Player One, he says. Ready Player One was not good, though. There was so many problems. It was okay. With Ready Player One.
Yeah, it was definitely okay.
But I liked it more than Zero, but, you know, like a 3 is not that much higher than 0 in my ideas. But anyway, that's besides the point. We have a Ready Player One episode. The person who is talking in the stream can check that episode out to see my feelings on that movie. Your caster friend has never liked anything. That's fair. All right, guys. Well, have a good one. Have a happy Halloween. Don't eat too many candies. Don't get spooked out by too many ghouls and goblins. And we'll see you in November.